Hey Fair West neighbors, it's September 19th. Coming up on Monday, September 22nd, is the first community input session for the State Fairground Reimagined community input. It's over at the African American Performing Arts Center, 6 to 8-ish. Check it out. I think lots of people are interested. This is community session number one, input session number one of, I believe, three, to be hosted towards the formation of a master plan that is being put together by this firm that the state of New Mexico hired. The firm is Stantec, and so they're going to have these community input sessions to get ideas for what should be in this master plan, which then hopefully will work its way back through the legislative process and get some bonds issued for things that we all think would be helpful. That's the idea. So, what kind of community input do you want to bring? Well, there's a few different ways to think about it, ever so briefly. I'll just say what I think I want. Maybe that'll be useful in some way. Or you can think how dumb my ideas are. Not really my ideas exclusively either. So, thanks to board member Hillary, who introduced me to different meetings and ideas. So there's a group called the Center for Housing Economics, and the director Roger. He gave a lot of great information, I think, recently about the Senate bill that is backing all of this, the legislative bill 481, Senate Bill 481. Blah blah blah. I should edit that out. What it all boils down to is what are some of the asks from the community that would be valuable. And I heard some things that I liked. Things like creating a nonprofit, like a community development corporation. Maybe something along the lines of like what already exists with Revitalized San Pedro Partnership. Perhaps that's something they could evolve into. To manage community benefit projects, especially things like holding on to land and land banking and dealing with real properties, especially properties that are underutilized in the areas around the fairgrounds. So we're not just talking about what happens inside the fairground, but we're talking about the community benefits that are made possible by the law to spread out in the neighborhoods surrounding the fairgrounds. And so whatever they do on the fairground can benefit as well from the improvement of benefits coming to the communities around there. Um, and so having a simple process to entertain ideas and get pitches for different community benefits projects, having board meetings in which there's time for community presentations, and trying to prioritize different benefits like the acquisition of vacant, abandoned, substandard land around the fairgrounds district, affordable housing developments, rehabilitation of housing that is serving people well now but needs some help in being maintained, improvements to public schools, open spaces, parks. Um, there's public health infrastructure, arts and cultural facilities. All this is made possible and is outlined in the Senate bill, and we could advocate for wanting to see something like this happen. So not just necessarily debating whether or not there should be three-story tall townhomes on the fairgrounds, but um, also having that discussion in addition to saying, let's set aside money specifically for these surrounding communities to have benefits in a substantial way with community input and then down the line community ownership so that the gentrification and the rise in property value that is a big aim of what they're trying to do to revitalize the economic aspects of this part of Albuquerque can be tempered with property that is owned communally and that has a better chance of not just appreciating so much in value that it drives people away. Interesting stuff. Thanks, Hillary, for connecting me to this. Upcoming things are not only, who cares just what I want, but we should have more conversation on what other people think about asks in the fairground. So our next Fair West Neighborhood Association meeting is after the first community input session and after the upcoming State Fairground District TID board meeting. That is September 25th, Thursday, 10 a.m. But on the 26th of September, so the Friday, this upcoming Friday, next Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. at Enchantment Dancing. We'll have on our neighborhood agenda some time set aside so that we can have further conversation about different ways to have community benefits that Fair West residents and business owners and neighbors would like to see or kick around. And then also continue to think more about community input session number 2 and different ways to refine what we learned in the first one, what to do in the second. So, yeah, if you ain't got nothing going on this week, on Monday, community input session. On Thursday, you got the TID board meeting. On Friday, you got the neighborhood association meeting. And then on Saturday, I think we're doing produce and coffee in the park. That one sounds by far the most fun. Hopefully, I will make it to all of them.